There are interviews that come and go without leaving much behind. There are press conferences that follow familiar routines where every answer sounds carefully prepared and every question feels expected. Then there are those rare moments when an ordinary conversation unexpectedly captures everyone's imagination. Not because of shocking drama, not because of controversy, but because sincerity has a way of becoming unforgettable. On this particular afternoon, the atmosphere inside the studio felt unusually calm. The lights had been adjusted to create a warm and welcoming setting. Soft music played before the cameras started rolling. Members of the production team moved quietly around the stage, making final preparations while guests chatted comfortably behind the scenes. No one expected the interview to become one of the most talked-about conversations among fans. Zhang Linghe arrived wearing a simple yet elegant dark suit. His relaxed smile immediately put everyone at ease. Instead of rushing through the greetings, he took time to thank every crew member who welcomed him into the studio. Even before the interview officially began, the atmosphere already felt different. It felt genuine. When the cameras finally started recording, the host began with familiar questions. They discussed recent projects, favorite filming locations, the challenges of portraying emotionally complex characters, the lessons learned from years of acting. Zhang Linghe answered every question thoughtfully. He never rushed. He never searched for dramatic headlines. Instead, he spoke with quiet confidence about the craft he loved. The audience watching online enjoyed every moment. Comments filled the screen praising his calm personality and respectful attitude. Everything unfolded exactly as expected, until one unexpected question changed the direction of the entire interview. The host smiled gently before asking, "Throughout your career, you have worked with many talented actors and actresses. What qualities do you admire most in someone you share the screen with?" For a brief moment, Zhang Linghe looked down with a thoughtful smile. The studio became surprisingly quiet. Even the crew members standing behind the cameras seemed curious about his answer. He leaned back comfortably before speaking. He explained that great acting has very little to do with popularity. What truly impresses him is dedication. The willingness to continue improving even after receiving praise. The courage to ask questions. The patience to repeat difficult scenes until every emotion feels authentic. As he continued speaking, viewers listened carefully. Then the host asked another question. If you had to mention one colleague whose professionalism left a lasting impression on you, who would it be? The room fell silent once again. After a short pause, Zhang Linghe smiled. He mentioned Tian Xiwei. The comment section exploded almost instantly. Thousands of viewers reacted at the same time. Some expressed excitement. Others simply waited to hear what he would say next. Instead of creating suspense, he answered naturally. He explained that what stood out most was not one particular scene or one unforgettable performance. It was consistency. According to him, every filming day brought the same positive energy. Every rehearsal received the same level of commitment. Every conversation reflected kindness toward everyone on set, from the lead actors to the newest members of the crew. He admired that consistency because he believed genuine professionalism appears in ordinary moments long before audiences see the finished drama. The studio remained completely silent. The audience listened carefully. He continued by describing how challenging scenes often required countless rehearsals. Sometimes a single emotional sequence demanded hours of preparation. Sometimes unexpected weather interrupted filming. Sometimes everyone became exhausted after long days. Yet maintaining a positive attitude during those moments mattered just as much as delivering a convincing performance. That was something he deeply respected. The host nodded with visible appreciation. Instead of discussing rumors or speculation, the conversation had become an inspiring reflection on teamwork. The audience responded warmly. Comments began appearing from viewers around the world. Many said they admired how respect had become the focus of the discussion. Others shared stories about how genuine encouragement from colleagues had helped them through difficult moments in their own lives. The interview had quietly transformed into something much bigger than entertainment. The host smiled before asking another question. What makes someone unforgettable after a project ends? Zhang Linghe thought carefully before answering. He explained that unforgettable people are rarely the loudest. They are the ones who create an environment where everyone feels comfortable giving their best. They celebrate the success of others. They remain humble after receiving praise. They never stop learning. Those qualities stay with you long after filming ends. His answer inspired another wave of reactions. Fans clipped short moments from the interview and shared them across social media. Soon conversations appeared everywhere. People discussed the importance of humility. Others talked about professionalism. Many appreciated that the interview highlighted values instead of sensational stories. As the interview continued, Zhang Linghe shared a memory about preparing for an emotionally demanding scene. He described how the cast spent hours discussing character motivations before filming even began. Everyone exchanged ideas. Everyone listened. Nobody treated collaboration as a competition. Those conversations became just as meaningful as the scenes themselves because they reminded everyone that storytelling is built through trust. The host listened with genuine interest. The audience could feel the passion behind every word. For aspiring actors watching the interview, it became an unexpected masterclass. Instead of focusing only on fame, they heard someone describe the importance of discipline, patience, respect, kindness, preparation. Those simple principles suddenly felt far more inspiring than any dramatic headline. Outside the studio, evening slowly settled over the city. Rain lightly touched the streets, creating shimmering reflections beneath the lights. Inside the building, the interview entered its final moments. The host asked one last question. If you could leave viewers with one message, what would it be? Zhang Linghe smiled warmly. He said that audiences often see only the finished performance. What remains invisible are the countless hours of practice, the moments of self-doubt, the determination to improve, the encouragement shared between colleagues. He believed every successful project is created not by one individual, but by many people working toward the same goal with mutual respect. His final words filled the studio with quiet applause. The cameras stopped recording. Crew members thanked everyone for their hard work. Conversations continued long after the lights were switched off. Outside the building, fans who had followed the interview online continued discussing their favorite moments. Some admired the thoughtful answers. Others appreciated the emphasis on teamwork. Many said the interview reminded them that the strongest admiration is often expressed through respect rather than grand speeches. As the evening came to an end, one thing became clear. The conversation people remembered most was not about fame. It was not about rumors. It was not about creating headlines. It was about recognizing qualities that inspire others to become better. Dedication, humility, professionalism, kindness. Those values quietly became the real stars of the interview. Days later, fans were still talking about the conversation, not because it revealed a dramatic secret, but because it painted a picture of what genuine respect between colleagues could look like. Sometimes the most memorable stories are not built around extraordinary events. Sometimes they begin with one thoughtful question, one sincere answer, and one reminder that the qualities we admire most in others are often the very qualities that inspire us to become better versions of ourselves. If this story inspired you, share your thoughts in the comments. What quality do you admire most in people you work with? Kindness, dedication, humility, or perseverance? Share this story with fellow fans and remember that it created purely for entertainment.